make lifestyle choices to enhance your well-being. This is Natural Inspirations. You are listening to Natural Inspirations Podcast, the show where we have conversations with local natural health experts on the Space and Treasure Coast. Welcome to episode 20. I'm Chris Urquhart. Today, Anthony Profeta shares tips to make mindful listening and meditation fun for kids. Thanks for joining me today, Anthony.
Oh, thank you so much. It's an honor to be here and talking with you today.
So, parents are at home a little bit more with their kids than they have been in the past with our distance learning in place. And so they might be looking for some tips on how to maybe get their kids to listen. I understand you have some experience with mindful listening. Is there some tips you can share with them?
Sure. Everybody wants their kids, even when they were in school, teachers wanted their kids to pay attention. The problem is, even in school, they're never taught how to. So we need to encourage kids to learn how to pay attention, to be attentive, to listen to things. And there is a helpful tool that we can use where if you have a bell or a singing bowl, or if you just download an app on your phone that might have like a little bell sound or a chime sound, what you could do is practice deep listening with them, or what they call mindful listening with the kids. And you would just ask them to just sit upright, close their eyes, and you're just going to play a game. You always want to make it fun for children, because if it's something that feels like forced or, something that they don't want to do, they can become frustrated with it. And, trying to get them to meditate would be like trying to get them to eat a vegetable that they don't like. So you want to make them these things as fun as you can. So turn it into a little game where you just tell them it's a deep listening exercise, and you have them close their eyes, and then you ring the bell or you tap the singing bowl and you let it play. But don't stop it. Just let it play out until the sound fades out on its own. And then what you do is you ask them, when they can no longer hear the sound anymore, just either raise their hand or tell, say it stopped or something like that. And what you're technically doing is you're giving them a very short, maybe minute or two meditation at a time, by having them just sit quietly and try to listen intently to that sound as it fades out.
So have you gotten feedback from parents, or maybe just from your experience, that there are other benefits to practicing this mindful listening for kids other than just being more attentive?
Yeah, oh, yes, there definitely is. I mean, in today's world, children need techniques just as much as adults on how to manage the stressful world. Children today are under a lot more stress than even when I was like a child myself. It's a very different world for a 5, 6, 7, 8-year-old today than it was when I was 5, 6, 7, or 8. And we're bombarded by stress on multiple levels. And kids are dealing today with a lot more of restlessness, a lot more anxiety, a lot more stress than have been in the past. In fact, sadly, I believe it was Scientific America that said children today are living in the age of anxiety. And so they need tools to help deal with that. And these mindful listening little game that you could play, or even there's some breathing techniques where you could just ask a child to sit down and, and again, depending on the age of the child, you always want to make it fun. So you could say, we're going to practice our balloon breath, where you just have them hold their hands in front of like their belly. And then when they breathe in, you tell them to expand out your balloon as big as you can make it as you breathe in. And then when you breathe out, make your balloon very, very small. And you can even ask them, make it whatever favorite color your balloon is. But what these begin to do is they do kick off what is known as our relaxation response. And whether we're an adult or whether we're a child, this physiological effect happens in either, because it's just part of how our nervous system is wired. And the breathing can help to kick off the body's relaxation response and help us to deal with stresses, help us to deal with anxiety in a natural way. And another thing that's very helpful is to ask the child to just breathe in with you and then breathe out longer than you did breathe in. So you could, there's something also called a birthday breath, where you could tell them, hold up your finger like it's a birthday candle, and then you breathe in for maybe a count of 4, but then you tell them to try to blow out that candle and breathing it out longer than the count of 4. So you would breathe it out for like 6 or 8. And a longer breath kicks off our parasympathetic nervous system, which actually helps to regulate our body's relaxation response and stress naturally. So children today are bombarded by stress. They need to learn how to pay attention and focus, especially in today's age of anxiety, not age of anxiety, but age of technology, where technology is actually making us more distracted rather than more focused, because we have these little things that go off on our smartphones or our tablets or anything else with the little notifications and these little pop-ups. And what those things are actually doing is actually causing us to be distracted, saying, hey, pay attention to something over here rather than what you're doing. And so today, by technology, children are actually learned to, or being trained, I should say, to be distracted rather than focused. So these techniques will help with paying attention, they'll help with focus, they'll help with concentration, and they'll help with anxiety and stress and restlessness.
Those are some really great ideas. My kids are grown now, but I can imagine doing that, blow out the birthday candle exercise with young kids. I think it'd be fun. So
Yeah.
I'm curious,
Yes.
I'm a meditation teacher, and meditation can be difficult even for those of us that are grown-ups. Is it possible to teach a child to meditate?
It is. It's not, it might not be an easy task, but it will be. The things you need to know when doing these things with children is, one, again, you want to make it fun because children thrive on things that are fun and enjoyable. You don't want it to make it like a forced activity. You also have to think about a child's not going to be able to sit for 15, 20 minutes. So you want to do short bursts. So you might want to do only like a minute or two of maybe, working with breath or listening to the sounds, and do something shorter because it's more conducive to their mentalities and to their temperaments. And the other thing is definitely have patience with them, because you don't want to get frustrated. You don't expect them to sit there with their eyes closed either the whole time. If they want to open their eyes, don't tell them, oh, you have to close your eyes. No, just whatever's happening with the child, let it unfold for them naturally and make it fun, make it enjoyable, have patience with them, and start slow. But I guarantee if you follow those stepping stones, that you will be able to teach these techniques to children.
Thank you so much for all of that great information.
Thank you. It's really an honor to be with you today.
Thank you so much. Everyone, be well, stay connected.